Future Diary. Today we'll be talking about a manga called Future Diary that one of you folks sent in for us to look at. Well, actually, two of you folks, Lon and Baku-sensei. But what is Future Diary about? Future Diary is, in a nutshell, what if your Twitter started to suddenly update itself? Does it make sense? Well, we'll get to that part. Basically, the story centers around a young boy and his imaginary friend Deus Ex Machina. Deus constantly visits the boy and talks to him about a bunch of different things, but eventually Deus gives him a cell phone. The cell phone is identical to his own, but the one catch is that the cell phone starts updating itself from the future. It starts telling him that 2 hours from now, he'll be having a test. 2 hours from now, he'll be eating lunch at this location and run into his father, his mother, whatever the case is. Basically, their phones, the diaries they keep in there, start to write the future. This is all part of a greater game, however, that Deus Ex Machina, who is clearly not imaginary, is playing. The boy is in a Highlander only one can survive scenario, where the last to survive becomes the new god of space and time. So, you have the young boy who has his own particular slant on his diary, because the diaries don't change, they only write how the person would have wrote. The main character feels invisible, and therefore he only writes about what happens around him. No commentary, no discussion, he just writes the facts how they happen. So, his diary does exactly that. It tells him, walk to class, met this person, talked to this person, got an A on my test, was murdered today. Whoops! Oh, that's right. One of the first texts he gets is that he is going to be murdered, with the phrase dead end, which is supposed to be that there is no way around you're getting out of it. This is just what's going to happen. You are going to die. The catch in this is this precocious little, pink-haired tsundere right there. Or yandere actually would be the correct, because she's psychotic and would probably want to murder him as soon as cuddle him. Juno is this psychotically over-devoted, beautiful, brilliant person who is also a Future Diary wielder, who is also in his class. Her diary has the slant. It's the Stalker Diary. She meticulously records where he is at all points and what happens to him. Her diary does not talk about herself in the slightest, but it very accurately predicts everything that happens to the main character. Combining these diaries, the two escape and actually beat the person who is going to murder him, who has the murder diary, well put, obviously. He's a serial killer who kept information on all the people he murdered, so he would get all those files before he murdered them and know where and how he was going to kill them. That's a pretty interesting concept, if you ask me. It's pretty fun. I really enjoyed it. The art is flavorful. It's very similar to Dead Man Wonderland, actually, and just that kind of very comforting, large, overly expressive, depressed youth who wants no part of the thing that he's involved in. I'm very interested in checking out more. It's been out for a while, but one thing that really interested me is when I was looking for other works by the artist, who I believe is Sake Isuno, I found only one listing for one other manga that he had ever done, and that is Haruko and the Teller of Allegory. With a name like that, I'm actually kind of interested. You know, the situation where I tried to look up what that manga was about and had no idea. Like, there's no information I could find, except that it was released this month by Tokyopop, which makes me want to actually read it all the more. Well, there you have it. The high points. Future Diary, lots of fun, lots of puzzles. It's kind of like, what if Death Note wasn't very depressing? Death Note meets the Highlander meets emotional small children. I guess those are also the negative points, too. Oh well. Have fun, enjoy it for yourself, and comment and stuff.